Yep, it's Dwarf Month. That's right. We are doing dwarves all month, and specifically from Deep Rock Galactic. You know what? I love the game, and this model that I'm painting right now is probably my favorite. It's the one I've played the most on the game when I played it, and he has been a blast. Anyway, that would be the Scout. What a cool little model. And I can't wait to get on this one, guys. Anyway, please like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. I'll see you guys in there. Here we go. Deep Rock Galactic Scout. You know what's funny is I played the video game and I've played every one of these guys we're painting this month. Too fun. It's just, it's cool. Anyway, what we're going to do here, this is going to be a quick paint. We've got blues, yellows, orange, browns, and gray. That's about it, except for the face, and we'll do some skin tone like we did on the last one. This should be a quick paint. It's going to be fun. This is actually probably one of my favorite characters is the Scout. It's the one I've used the most. But anyway, we're going to start off with, here we go, dark gray blue for a base on the blue. All right, let's do it. There we go, dark gray blue base, real quick, real simple. We crammed it into the crevices, and we weren't too careful about what we hit. I tried not to clip some things, but it is what it is. I missed a little bit right there. But that was real quick, real simple. And now we're going to come back in with a little bit of blue and dark gray blue mixture. And then we'll do some blue and for the midtone, and then we'll move on to the highlight. All right, let's do it. Midtone down for the blue, real quick, real simple as you saw. But what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the yellow, and his gloves are yellow, his kneecaps, his armor, his shoulder pads, those are all yellow, and we're going to start off with a little bit of yellow ochre. And the reason I'm going to just stick with the midtones now, we'll just do the highlights at the end kind of thing. I think that'll be fun. So we're just going to get the most of the work out of the way. The highlights are the fun part for me. So all right, yellow ochre. Just real quick, when I do this yellow ochre, I'm going to have to be a little more careful than I was with the blue, obviously, because I don't want to clip that blue. So I just wanted to point that out. With the blue, we could just go crazy. We didn't have to worry about clipping anything because we're going to paint everything. But now we're dipping into, we can't clip that blue, because if you clip the blue with the yellow, it's over, right? You got to go back and fix it. So anyway, just want to point that out. We got the yellow ochre down, and it took a few coats because it's really difficult. Yellow's really difficult to cover over black, so I did a few coats, and it's still, even then, you can still kind of see through it. But what we're going to do now is we're going to move on. We're going to push through and do a midtone with yellow ochre and warm yellow. All right, let's do it. We got the midtone on the yellow down. It's a little rough, but when we come back with the highlights, it'll start filling in. When you paint yellow, it's just, man, especially over black, you gotta use several coats, and that's what we're having to do here. And I clipped some of the blue. I'll go back and fix that later, but he's looking really nice. He's looking really cool. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move on to the beard, and we're gonna use burnt orange. We got the beard midtone down. We got the base and the midtone. I mixed, red orange and burnt orange together and just slapped it on there real quick. But I'm kind of probably getting a little ahead of myself. I need to get the skin done because that face is getting pretty meticulous, and we've got some stuff to do on. Oh, he's got some hair in the back there. I got to grab that before we finish. But we're going to be using shadow flesh and bright shadow flesh for the skin. All right. Got the skin pretty much almost there, and we're gonna have to get in there and be real careful and redo some of the eyebrows and things like that, but no big deal. That's you know, it's a real small area. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna push on to the brown patches, his belts, his pouches, his sleeping bag and things like that, and maybe the stock of the gun, but that's about it. And again, we're sticking to the base and the midtones, and we're gonna do the highlights here in just a little bit. All right, let's do it. All right, there we go. We've got almost all the bases down except for the metallic, and we're going to do that now, and we're going to start off with steel. Go. All of the base and midtones are down, and he's looking terrific. Man, look at that. We've already, I mean, you could leave this guy as is and move on to the next, but here at Dog 6 Studios, we always like to take it a little bit further. So what we're going to do now is, you can see we have all of the highlight colors, the yellow, the blue, and actually, let's get over here. Let me grab the orange. Where to go? There it is right there, the orange highlights. And we're going to do that. But this is the fun part now, right? This is what I love to get to really start. I enjoy the whole process, but the details and the highlights are my favorite. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start with, I believe we're going to do the blue first, then we will move on to the yellow, and then we will move on to the orange, and then we will move on to the brown, just in that order. All right, just for quick reference, as a rule, I use ivory to lighten everything up, so every color will end with a bit of ivory, and maybe even end up with ivory itself as a highlight. All right, just wanted to point that out. Blue and yellow are done, except for a wash. We haven't done a wash yet, and man, he's looking good. That yellow was fun. I put a little bit of ivory in that bismuth yellow and hit the tips, and you can kind of see, the depth on the shoulder pads. Man, that looks really good. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the beard. Obviously, that's one of my favorite things to do, and I've done a ton of orange beards, and I just love it because I had a red beard. I had a red beard. It's kind of gray now, but I had a red beard as bright as that for years, and man, it's so fun. It just reminds me of my old beard. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to highlight that with orange yellow. All right, there we go. That beard is fire. Look at that. Man, I love doing beards. It's the recipe I have is burnt orange, and then you mix that burnt orange with orange, and then you do orange, and then you do yellow orange, and then you mix the yellow orange with yellow, and bam, it's beautiful. I love it. I love doing beards. Anyway, I digress. So we have finish is, let's see, we have the metallic, we have his skin, and then we have the brown, and that's about it. So let's get on to the brown. All right, let's do it. All right, there we go. All of the highlights are done except for, I believe, the metallics. And I'm going to do a general wash on some areas before I do a highlight on that. Man, this turned real good. And we use some basic colors, yellow, blue, orange. I love it. And brown, perfect. This guy is awesome. All right, so let's get on to the wash and the final highlights. All right, let's do it. Just for quick reference, what I did here is I put a little bit of fluorescent green here on these light grenades, and then I put a little bit on his light on his shoulder, and I also did a smidge, a little dot on his eye right there. Man, that looks terrific, doesn't it? All right, that's pretty much done. That's pretty much it. He's done, except for just I'm gonna do some wash in some general areas to make it pop a little bit. We're gonna get the matte varnish on, and he's good to go. All right, let's do it. Well, there you have it, guys. Deep Rock Galactic Scout. Man, I like I said in the beginning, this was my favorite model, and painting it was a blast. I loved painting it. You know what? I got to the middle point, and I thought, man, I don't know if all this blue and this yellow is going to work out, but man, it worked out great, especially with that fire red beard, which is funny, as I mentioned before in the video, is I used to have a fire red beard. So again, that's probably why I'm a little biased, because it's my favorite. Anyway, what fun. We have 2 more dwarfs to go, and I may do 2 next week, because I want to do a dwarf bust at the end of the month, like I did with the orcs. I just thought that would be fun. Hopefully I can get to it. Hopefully I have time to do it. Again, I'm in my wrestling season, and my time just goes right out the window. Anyway, guys, please like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. I'll catch you next week.